All right, here we go. We're back. Microwave this podcast. We got a special guest tonight. This is going to be a fun episode. I'm Ben.
I guess I was waiting for Bill. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm the special guest, Bill.
Billy Worms.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. Absolutely.
He's not just a guest; he's a special guest.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like we could have plenty of people over here. We'd just be like, nah, you're a guest.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, Bill, he's a special boy.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
Billy.
very much. Yeah, we're all just townies in the small town that we live in.
Yep.
And I don't know. I've been around for a while, so thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And Bill is an actual scientist. Like he's going to have some insight because tonight we've got a theme tonight. It's not just us talking about video games, and I mean we'll go on tangents and shit, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Scientist.
Yeah, we're going to get real accusatory with Bill.
Look, I'm about to flip the script on all of you.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I'm really going to enjoy this. You can hit us up on Twitter at microwave_this. And, of course, the YouTubes. It's just microwave this podcast. That's all the admin we need because we're not that important. And I don't think many of us care about too many things. I don't.
No.
I'm just going to speak for everyone.
Just microwave this whole fucking podcast.
I'm just gonna to kick off our to introduce Bill and his expertise. I'm gonna say for a couple weeks now, I'm pretty sure I've had an ulcer, and I just bought a
Welcome
bunch
to
of,
the club.
Yeah, right. Does it? Yeah, Chris, because you had. Does it feel like someone just punched you in the stomach? Like
Yeah, it's I mean, it. For me, the feeling is like someone's literally pushing in my stomach.
Yeah, it's
and
like pressure
just,
almost.
But not with the finger, more like with a screwdriver or something.
Oh.
Just because it's pretty painful.
Mine's like a dull soreness. Like it feels like somebody punched me in the stomach like an hour ago, and it's just the residual soreness.
It's on the left side, right?
I say right in the center.
Oh, then that could be something else.
Cool.
Yeah.
So maybe changing my diet won't help. I'm glad I spent all that money today.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking the jizz flavored coconut water.
Well, I just want to say that, like, it's recently been discovered that ulcers are caused by a bacteria. So you have to keep that in mind. And I know there's not much you can do to destroy the bacteria in your gut, but yes, changing your diet can mitigate the symptoms of what you're feeling.
Well, isn't there like two different types? You have the H. pylori bacteria that you're
Yes.
talking about, and then the one caused by stress or whatever. Did they say that that's pseudoscience bullshit? Or
No, stress can absolutely cause inflammation.
But it's mostly the bacteria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, in as much as you can mitigate a bacterial infection in you, it's sure you could take like a bunch of antibiotics maybe to get rid of it, but it's more about like the ecology.
Yeah, I drink too much for antibiotics. I don't know if that's going to pan out.
Yeah, exactly. And why would you want to? Because you're gonna like
You're
take
going
a
to kill
bu-
off the good
you're gonna
bacteria
take-
as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're just going to create more room for the
bad shit,
bacteria
yeah.
to like get a foothold. So it's tough. It's like
Well-
there's really no simple answer to.
You were telling me before the other guys got here about the guy who discovered that
the H. pylori.
Yeah, and how he did that. Can you enlighten us?
Yeah,
'Cause
like,
that's-
well, for a long time it was just like it's stress. Stress causes ulcers. That's all there is to it. And this guy was like, no, I think it's a bacteria. And he couldn't test that on anyone else. So he basically just drank the vomit of someone with this bacterial infection, and he
Yeah.
infected himself, and he won a Nobel Prize.
Yeah,
for
I was
it.
about to say you won the Nobel. I've read up a lot. You know.
So that's terrifying.
Yeah,
But
it's-
hey, that's a fucking scientist right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
there
mean, a lot
there
of
was
those
no other
people.
way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, didn't Madame Curie do a bunch of shit on herself?
Probably. That's probably. Why didn't she die of like radiation sickness?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
well,
I
she
mean-
just
Damn.
she just put herself in the line of fire
Yeah.
for all of that work that she did.
So not as smooth as the vomit guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't go as well. All right, here we go for science.
Yeah, so keep drinking your coconut water.
Well,
Yeah, and my aloe.
well, you know, they had me on like 3 different types of antibiotics over the past 2 months, and my ulcer seems to have cleared up.
Cool.
So who knows? It was one of them that killed it. But
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe mine's from stress. I don't feel stressed out more than any other day of my life. I consider part of it just being that, like, maybe subconsciously I've just been worrying that if I fuck something up at work, I'm going to catch way more heat than I would have.
Well, don't
Yeah, there's
don't consider stress to be totally psychological, because it's very biological as well. So like drinking alcohol on a regular basis
Yeah.
is stressful
Yeah.
to your body.
yeah,
Also
Not
a good point.
sleeping enough.
Oh, I
is
sleep plenty.
Stressful on your body.
Thanks, depression. But yeah, I gotta stop with the dumpster bourbon. That's not good. I've been definitely like eating more like bland food. Like well, like I know, like, because normally it's just like
yeah,
sour beers, orange juice,
Yeah.
fucking red sauce, tomato sauce all the time. So I've cut that out. And sugar, fuck sugar.
But definitely eat spices, and don't bland up your life. Like eat spices and
Dr. Kellogg
flavors and
said that if I
Yeah,
ate really
exactly.
boring food,
That's
I would keep from jerking off all the time. Because it's right now, it's just constant. It's just
wasn't that?
I'm so
It
dehydrated.
was Dr. Graham, wasn't it? Or Graham?
both. Yeah, it was all of them. They were very much.
That's where the graham cracker came from. You know,
Yeah.
to stop you
God.
from masturbating.
They were. If I'm not
Fail.
mistaken, they were Seventh-day Adventist Christians, and they were very concerned about people jerking off too much, and
Or just at
so-
all.
Yeah.
or just at all. Yeah, and
How unfortunate.
yeah,
You fucked it up.
yeah. I think that was one of their major motivating factors for their lifestyle recommendations.
Yeah. Fucking,
They literally were like, if you eat cornflakes, you won't jerk off as much.
yeah. You just
If you eat meat, you'll jerk off too much.
way too much. Like so much is sore, red and raw. Just oh man. Have a steak.
This
Well-
steak comes with a
And-
nice dry rub.
And the ideas of these
I get it.
people are the foundations of what American
Nutrition science.
policy,
Oh, okay.
not necessarily nutrition science, because the scientists are way ahead of the policymakers,
Well, yeah,
but
yeah.
they laid the foundations for the policies of Americans, the food pyramid and things like this.
Oh, that pyramid that's been revamped how many times in the past 20 years or so?
But barely.
Yeah.
It's not been revamped that much.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that South Park episode where they were like, turn it over.
Yeah.
But for the most part, American policy has been the foundations of the American nutritional philosophy has been laid on what these religious zealots
Yay.
came up with.
That's one of my headings for tonight. I think it just says religious bias.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tons of that.
And as much as lefties would claim like the vegan and vegetarian stuff, the foundation of vegan and vegetarianism is actually Christian religious fundamentalism.
Huh.
So
I did not know
that's
that.
one more reason for me to hate it. Sweet.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense because, like in the Old Testament, I think it was like the Book of Daniel or something, where they didn't want to eat what the Babylonians or Persians were eating because they were, sacrificing that food for their gods and whatnot. And I think they were like, "Well, we're just gonna eat vegetables."
Did you watch Noah, the new movie?
I did.
Was that
Russell Crowe?
Yeah, Russell
Yeah.
Crowe. Was that the Wachowski brothers?
I'm not sure.
No, it was
I think it was the Wachowski.
no, it was
The Wachowski
Aronofsky.
siblings.
It was Darren Aronofsky.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah.
I think so.
I'm
I
an
think so now, I
Aronofsky
think so.
fan.
Aronofsky.
You hate him out.
I fucking hate Aronofsky, by the way. But yeah, was it?
Yeah, it was Aronofsky.
Fuck.
Because it just
That was like a vegan propaganda film. Basically.
is it-
Yeah,
Noah
I mean-
was like, I have to save all the animals from all the meat eaters. And
those filthy
because meat
carnivores.
eaters are rapists and they're gonna rape my children. I have to save all
Yeah,
the
well,
animals.
they eat all that meat, and you get tired of jerking off after a point. You just, now we're raping.
Was it Aronofsky?
yeah, it was Aronofsky. Yeah, I mean because I remember it was right
Don't
after
get me started
The
on
Wrestler.
Mother. Don't
Yeah,
get
we-
me
I think that
started.
was his next film after The Wrestler, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm like, "Why is he doing like a big budget action type film?" And I watched it, and I was like, "Well, it's certainly different." I mean, it wasn't big budget action film, that I was expecting.
Like the trailer I saw kind of made it look that way, like this
No, it
crazy
was-
spectacle.
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't mind it. I mean,
I
like
didn't not enjoy it.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a piece of shit. I mean,
This
there's far worse
fucking-
films, but it wasn't.
I haven't seen
It
the
wasn't
movie.
up to Aronofsky standards,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I haven't seen the movie, but I heard that it tells the story, kind of outside of the biblical narrative. Like they incorporate the perspectives of like other old religions and whatnot.
Aren't there like fairies and shit in it or some
Yeah,
shit?
there's like a
that?
rock monster or something.
Yeah,
Cool.
there's
There's a fucking golem. That's Hebrew in origin, if I remember correctly. The golem.
Yeah.
Well, he has a lot of like Jews in his films. Like Pi was like all about this Jewish conspiracy.
I
to,
liked Pie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I saw like the tail end of it, and I liked what I saw.
And Aronofsky's a Jew, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
Right. I mean, he had it was like a Jewish conspiracy in Pi to like manipulate the stock market, and then in Noah, I feel like it was like a vegan propaganda film. Like,
Well, you didn't like Mother either.
oh, I fucking hate Mother. Oh my god. It
I thought Mother
it
was
was
amazing.
a parable.
I don't want to watch
of-
that.
It's a parable of the tragedy of the commons, and it's one of the most fascist things I've ever seen
The
in my life.
fucking vulgars.
It's like a family living in the woods, and then all of a sudden, it's like people just flood into their. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but like, it's like people just flood into their house to the point where people are doing everything and fucking up their whole life, and then they eventually tear their baby apart.
Yeah, I think that was all symbolism for how humans are destroying the earth, though. I think that's the whole. I mean, it was simple symbolism.
Well, okay, so it's not fascist, but it's eco-fascist.
Well, I mean,
And it says that like humans are garbage and are destroying
Woo.
the earth. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
So what is the symbology there?
but they are.
As a death cultist, I'm always just gonna be like, yeah, humans suck.
Well,
Continue.
I don't know. Look, all I know is after I got out of that movie with my wife, we got into our first argument ever because like the whole movie is filled with like strange music meant to like
Yeah, it just creates this
discombobulate your whole
insane tension.
yeah.
Well,
And then
yeah.
that's Aronofsky all day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like
I watched the first time I saw Requiem for a Dream. After we turned it off, I had a headache,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and I was like, I hate this.
I mean,
Why do
I bought
fucking
that
watch all
film
that?
because I absolutely love it, but I've only watched it maybe 3 times.
Yeah,
It's-
because
it's
it's-
hard to watch.
Well, it's like cinematic sadism.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is gonna like this is gonna hurt. Like I had one movie I watched like 3 times. I had it on my hard drive, and the last time I went to like, oh, I'm gonna watch The Shape of Water or something, I was like scrolling through my folder full of movies and saw it, and was just like, why the fuck do I still own the Poughkeepsie tapes?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? I'm never watching this shit again. I'm glad I saw it once, but what? No, get out of here.
Speaking of Requiem for a Dream, back years ago when I lived with my parents still, came home from work one night and Mom was watching.
Oh no.
Yeah, Mom was up watching
No.
TV, and I said, "Hey, Mom, what you watching?" She's like, "It's a really good movie. It's called like Requiem something for a Dream." I said, "Requiem for." Oh, okay, cool. That's great. Wait,
Mom,
how,
no.
how much is left in the movie, Mom?
She didn't get to the A to A.
Yeah. And she's like, just a couple more minutes. It's like, turn it off now.
Mom, no.
No.
Not like this.
She's like, why? Just trust me. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Mom, yeah, for real. Just believe me on this.
And I never explained to her why. I just kind of I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. See.
Yeah.
Did she
Well,
stop?
you see, Mom.
Yeah, no, she turned it off. She trusted me.
Well, you're a good son.
Yeah.
I loved The Wrestler, and I loved Black Swan.
Yeah.
I thought those movies were fantastic.
I like The Wrestler.
There was a
Requiem's
point in
fantastic.
Mother. There was a point in Mother where, like, the white woman goes up into her bedroom, and there's a black man and an Asian woman sitting on her bed, and she's like, "Get out of my room!" And they turn to her, and they're like, "Your room, ha ha ha!" And then I was like, I was weirded out by that, and then she went back downstairs, and there's a homeless man sleeping on cardboard under her telephone. And she's like, "You have to get out of my house." And he's like, "Your house." And I was just like, this is totally the tragedy of the commons. This is what this is.
You
this
came
is a-
into this nice white lady's house.
There is this,
And
yeah.
you're just spoiling
like,
everything.
Everybody is just going into this nice white lady's house. The only thing that could make it more obvious, and I know Darren Aronofsky is a Jew, but he had an Italian play The Poet who allows all these people to come into the house, and I'm like I know he wanted to make it a Jew. I know he did. I know he wanted to make this poet a Jew who allows all these dregs of society to go into her house.
Are you talking about Javier Bardem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just, to me, it was just a blatant fucking cultural Marxist critique. And when I walked out of the film, I was reeling. I was reeling for like hours that whole night, and even several days afterward. And I was just like, this is a dangerous fucking movie.
I just think it's the you have a problem with the casting, because if those cast members would have been different races or whatever, you probably wouldn't have construed that opinion that it's.
No, what I'm saying is that if Javier was if it was cast as a Jew,
Yeah.
then it would have been more obvious.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that was his intent. But it's. I think we had this argument once before. But
we did over Facebook.
Yeah.
But I was dying.
I mean,
after I watched that
and
movie.
I
was
can't
like,
say that it wasn't his intent, but it doesn't seem like, I don't know.
Do you know about the tragedy of the Commons?
Well,
though?
I read up at that point on it. I didn't actually read the tragedy of the Commons, but
The tragedy of the Commons basically says that all humans are garbage, and if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And, but the original tragedy of the Commons was based on the time in which in England, where everything was the Commons, and then the capitalists sort of like fenced it off, and they were like, no, this is my land, and that's your land. And they were saying that, like, oh, it was a tragedy before when it was the Commons because everyone overgrazed, your neighbor overgrazed, and so you overgrazed to compensate your neighbor's overgrazing. And it was just like, it's like fundamentally wrong.
Yeah.
Let me section this off and have you pay me for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
This
Exactly,
land
that's
is
where-
my land.
that's
this
where-
land is my land.
Yeah, that's where the term landlord comes from. We have landlords now because of the sectioning of the commons. So like
Landlord Bear.
if you think that like that we're past feudalism, we're not. We still have landlords
Sweet.
and landladies. I mean, if that's not crazy, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I never really thought of it that way.
That's a
But, I mean, it makes sense.
It's a holdover from a feudal economy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. There's a couple of things I wanted to bring up. Like one of these things, it makes me so happy. Like I think I'm to this weird point where sometimes I get so angry and frustrated that I've like developed this weird masochism for like emotional masochism, where I'm like, that's so fucking dumb. It makes me so mad, and then I just can't do anything but laugh. So have you ever heard of raw water? Bill, have you heard of this?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this.
Yeah, well, I should tell our listeners we tried to record this episode, and the wheels just came off.
Yeah.
We lost the recording. Some of us lost consciousness. it was a bit of a shit show.
Yeah. Which we had a special guest in that lost episode, which we need to get him back in here.
Yeah.
My guitar player Jesse, which it was a pretty funny episode.
Well,
then
we might-
until it fell apart at the end, but
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility that I could still find it,
It's
on the hard drive somewhere, but
I was having quite a
it was bad.
wrangling us. Eventually, just stopped working because I just kept drinking whiskey.
yeah, we kept passing that bottle around.
Ooh, oh man.
It was a rough
Yeah,
episode.
that was a long night. But yeah, raw water. This is so much fun. Like I saw the one guy selling this shit and like watched a video of him being like, this is why it's good. This is basically it's unfiltered water from just I guess like streams. It's not like
downfield from the cow pasture.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. Unfiltered water. Like they're like no, but
Unfiltered, unboiled.
there's all this like these microbes and this bacteria that's really good for you, and you like
No, it's not.
Well,
yeah,
no,
like-
I get it. Microbes and bacteria are good for you.
yeah, but dysentery's
yeah.
not.
Yeah, but
We all learned. I think it's episode 1 where we talked about Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned very early on that drinking shitty water, that's a basic childhood thing.
And I agree. Like microbes and bacteria are good for you, but not by intaking intaking them through
humans learned
soiled water.
Humans learned this thousands of years ago. Thousands of years ago,
Yeah.
they decided not to poop upstream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or let your cows poop upstream.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't need that in your life or in your stomach.
Yeah. That's called E. coli.
Well, one of my favorite things about this is I went to the one website. I'm not going to mention the name of the website, but I went to one and I looked at like their pricing. Like, hey, if you want to order some, these are the packages you can get.
God damn it, I could make $1 million.
Dude, it's so bad. You had to, the minimum was 4. You had to buy 4 glass jugs of this water. That's the smallest order you can make. I think what was it? I think each jug was 25 gallons. No, wait, that can't be right.
That's
Hold
a
on.
lot.
No. Yeah, that's way
That's a
wrong.
lot for a glass jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's super wrong.
Maybe
I'm trying to-
2.5 gallons.
It was wait. Oh no, yeah.
Like
I'm totally wrong. But basically I worked out for 4 glass jugs of this water, you paid $64.
That's some high quality
Jesus.
H2O right there.
Yeah, I can't remember all the
That's
measurements.
some high quality E. coli.
You know
And
what?
The way I wrote it down is super weird, so I can't decipher my own hieroglyphs over here right now. But Yeah, for the minimum order is $64. Now think about the fucking shipping. The cost of that doesn't include shipping.
Yeah.
For all this water in glass bottles.
Can you imagine it?
Yeah, because water weighs almost 10 pounds per gallon.
Can you imagine during the apocalypse, you bust open a bunker because you're looking for food, and like you find like a whole dead family, and you're like, they got 2 more gallons of water, and you find the receipt, and, and it's like raw water, and you're like, fuck.
But yeah,
That's why they died.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck sponsors. You know, when summertime hits, Ben, we can just turn your air conditioning window unit on and just stick jugs underneath for the condensation to drip into.
I would trust that for sure.
Yeah, wait, hold that. Isn't that like where
There's no cows upstream on that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I just imagine, you know, like it's probably got some like dirty coils and
Oh no, yeah, like
Oh, whatever. So what?
yeah,
A little
that's
Copper
copper.
to iron doesn't
Little
hurt.
Yeah,
copper,
that's minerals, man. That's good for you. It picks like a little bit of
Rust.
like
Hell, I used to drink out of the
Yeah.
fucking
Look.
fucking pipes at the damn ballpark.
Yeah,
growing
fuck it. I
up,
drink out of the
dude.
hose, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not,
yeah,
not the hose.
Oh,
not,
so-
not I mean, now.
is that what the kids call it these days?
I'm talking about like the fucking spigot that was out there at these fucking ballparks.
Yeah, they
lead
just
pipes.
had like a handle.
Yeah, it's like, shh.
Yum.
I'm still alive. I probably, have cancer of every fucking
yeah.
organ, but
I don't know if I'm working on a house and it's hot out and like
Drink out of the spigot.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd drink out of the garden hose. Fuck it.
I-
Did it when I was a kid. I can do it as an adult.
Well, now though, I mean, like, I wouldn't fucking trust the fucking shit now, man. I mean, hoses were made a little bit better back then. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't have.
Well, I mean, I let the hose run
I
for a little
just
bit.
realized what I did that was so horribly wrong. It's not 25 gallons. It's 2.5.
Well, that's what I just said.
My decimal is way off.
Yeah, it's like what is that? Carboy. That's what it's called, right? The fucking big jugs that you
Yeah.
brew beer in.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about that size, I would imagine.
$16 for 2.5 gallons of bad water.
Yeah.
Of dirty fucking water. And these fucking and apparently like in California, and I'm just gonna use the word hippies because I fucking hate hippies. Like I know I'm an anachronism. If I had been born in the 60s, or well, if I had been in my prime in the 60s, I would have lost my fucking mind. I couldn't have done it. And these motherfuckers are just eating this shit up, being like, oh, it's like I looked at product reviews for this, and it's hilarious. The fucking people being like, it's so good. I feel so much better, have so much energy now.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, that didn't come from like the exercise and you already trying to watch your diet, but
Or just the placebo.
yeah,
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, natural selection finds its way back in every once in a while.
Fucking Christ. So that's
I mean, I'm a Darwinist. So
I want to
I'm
like
die.
I want to create like boxes and just deliver them free to everyone, and like a big box that gets delivered to your house with a hole on it that's like, don't stick your head in here. And for everyone who's like, when you put your head in the hole, it's like the pneumatic like cow gun that they used to like in slaughterhouses.
Nice.
No country for old men.
yeah. We told you were.
I told you, friendo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good name for it, actually.
The friendo.
Yeah. Or the No Country for Old Men.
Oh.
Stick your head in here to see the secrets of George Soros' conspiracies.
Clack. You were warned. We told you, John. John, why'd you? Damn it.
Yeah, I mean that's a bananas thing, the raw water. To some degree, I get raw milk, but at the same time, I'm not willing to risk drinking raw milk
And when it's
unless I actually fucking milk the cow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you know
yeah.
everything that you're,
yeah,
everything's sterilized and.
like your eggs. You know where your eggs come from.
Exactly. I have chickens. They make eggs.
I eat them.
I eat those eggs. I'll eat them raw. I don't care.
Well, yeah, well, those eggs, I mean, in America, the reason we have problems with salmonella with eggs is because they fucking wash the fucking protective coating off the eggs.
And in general, the chickens sit in like super high
Yeah.
concentrated populations
And
where
full of shit.
diseases, where there's shit and diseases
Exactly.
can grow.
Chicken concentration camps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's exactly what they are.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to
the McNugget Holocaust.
I don't mean
To belittle the.
to belittle my people, the Jews, but what we do to animals under capitalism is stupid.
Yeah, it is pretty.
For so many reasons. So yeah, keep your own chickens and get your own fucking eggs.
Boil your fucking water, you dumb hippie.
We can even keep,
Buy a fucking life straw.
we can keep chickens in the city, can't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it today. I went to Tractor Supply and they had chicks in there for I think $2 a piece, and I was like, "Fuck, man, do I want to do this?" But
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
yeah, but see, I have dogs in the backyard. They'd kill the chickens,
Also true.
and I just
my
want the
chickens
little
are-
chicks, you know,
my
and to
chickens
play,
are too-
play with them, and
My chickens are too old to lay eggs, so
No.
I'm kind of like, I don't want you guys anymore. I want the ones that make eggs.
yeah. Well, don't
Nuggets.
you have to have them for like a couple of years before they
Yeah.
start laying eggs and shit? And
But they fucking pop out an egg every day.
yeah. I mean,
So, like,
you
you
got
could-
more eggs than you can eat.
Yeah.
I used to smash them motherfuckers. Living over there, dog. So many egg whites.
Yep. Yeah, I need some more chickens.
I'm just gonna slice right into another one of my favorite headings for tonight. Flat Earthers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not like
Another, subject that we discussed in that lost episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you brought it up in the episode before.
Oh yeah. Right there at the end, and then it was just the general consensus that we would just do an entire episode about just insane bullshit like this.
I knew you were gonna bring this back up. I somewhat remembered it because I was on Netflix and they have a documentary on Netflix now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
They do. I haven't watched
And
it.
I haven't watched it either. And I was like, "Fuck! I wanted to watch that before
yeah.
you,"
Ah.
because I mean, it's like one of their recommended viewings right now.
It's not the Captain Janeway one.
So is it?
no.
No.
Did you hear about that one where
Yeah.
like they tricked her into it?
Yeah.
And
They
then
had her read a bunch of stuff. And
Yeah, then they
like,
just edited it to where like it sounded like she was
Fuck
pro
you.
flat Earth.
How
and then-
awful would you feel?
Oh, dude, she was pissed.
Yeah.
So fucking angry. I love it.
They had like Michikaku on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
just out of
Was he on there
context.
too?
Yeah, they had put footage of him like out. I haven't actually seen it, but I saw the trailer for it. Yeah, he's on there.
Oh,
Obviously,
Oh, I'd
uh,
be so pissed.
Obviously,
he's such a sweet.
they have his
Guy,
footage,
yeah.
and it's out of context, trying to sell their bullshit.
I don't know if I have a lot to say about flat earthers. I just can't. I never saw this coming.
Yeah.
Like I just never.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know that was a thing until a couple of years ago.
like
They were still around. It's
the
insane.
power of the fucking internet.
Oh yeah.
For good or for worse, it can burn down your house,
Oh yeah.
or it can keep you warm. And
Yeah, I mean,
it's a tool for good and for evil.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Like a sword.
But how could any of us have seen it coming?
Oh my god.
That flat earthers
would
Be
exist.
given a voice.
Would exist. Why? Why?
Yeah.
Well, there's Nazis on Earth today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fucking
So the internet did
mystics
that
and-
too.
No, I remember a couple of years ago, a friend of ours, his birthday is kind of a big deal. It's always sort of an event. And I think that was like after, like I did like a stand-up set and I got off stage and I went outside and Poochie was like, Ben, you gotta get in here, man. Listen to this shit. And our friend's girlfriend, who I don't know very well, and it's like they're not
Ex-girlfriend. They're not
yeah,
together.
they're not together anymore.
we're not
and-
gonna mention names.
Yeah, I never had much of a fondness for her at all, really.
I liked her. She was always nice to me. But,
We had a couple of exchanges that just really irritated the fuck out of me.
oh
And,
yeah.
yeah. Poochie calls me over and he's like, Ben, you've got to fucking hear this shit that she's saying. And I go over and she's like, well, I didn't believe that the Earth was flat until a scientist, I saw a video where a scientist explained it, and I was like, first of all, that's not a scientist, that's a charlatan, is what you got there. That's a different word. And she was like, well, if you're flying over the North Pole and you're upright, and you fly, like, if you were to fly all the way to the South Pole, wouldn't you be upside down? And I was like, you don't know how gravity works, do you? You don't understand this, like, I think sometimes it's just a limited capacity.
Well, to be fair, no one knows how gravity works.
Yeah, but we've got a decent,
yeah, we do have a.
We know it exists.
Yeah.
We
know the effects of gravity.
Yeah.
We
know there is no up and down in space.
Yeah.
We know that.
Which is why when you move across a fucking spherical surface, your feet still point down because there's something holding you there. But yeah, like I really do think it's like for a lot of these people, it's a limited capacity where they can't fathom the idea that something is so big that it looks flat.
They can't
even
even fathom the idea that people exist outside of their own brain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is everything is a projection of my consciousness. I appreciate you guys existing to appease my imagination, but I'm sorry, when I die, you stop existing.
Yeah.
From a very satanic philosophical standpoint.
Thanks, Ben.
No, I love you, and I'll always treasure our time together until I stop existing.
No, when you stop existing, the world ends.
Yeah.
So,
See,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
You guys don't exist.
I wish you were something else, man. Like I wish you were separate from me and not just an extension of my brain static.
Sophistry, isn't that called sophistry? That's an ancient philosophical thing.
I don't know.
You're a sophist.
A sophist. Not really. I actually do understand my place in reality. My very sad, depressing.
I should hope that you do.
Now I'm gonna go have a cry.
I know it is comforting to think that like the world doesn't exist after we leave it, or that we are the center of it, or that America is great, or that
that girl that broke your heart isn't actually enjoying her life and doing better. I wish she just wasn't anymore.
But I'm sorry, we all live on a sphere, and it's floating through the fucking solar system. It's not fucking flat.
Yeah.
It's just not. And I'm sorry. I don't know why.
It's the reduction of understanding. Like, if if something is, if the idea of fully understanding something is so fucking scary that I just can't do it, then I'll reduce my understanding.
Don't they base a lot of their idea on Old Testament?
Oh
yeah,
that's the way to go.
I don't doubt it.
The sea above us. What's it called? What's the armament or is that what it's called? What is it called? That you got to break through the flat earthers. It's.
Matt, you're our biblical
I
scholar
think
here.
So they're. Well, I don't know, like if it's actually
armament
in the Bible, but like I know that there are some quote unquote Christian scientists.
No, not armament.
That
contradiction
believe,
of terms.
Yeah, that believe before the Great Flood that there was like a giant canopy that enveloped the earth.
Yeah,
like the Truman Show.
Yeah, there's like a giant canopy of like water, and then like it all came down at once, and that was
which would have flattened the mountains.
Yeah.
Oh no, you want to talk about the Great Flood?
Oh yeah,
sure.
I totally believe in the Great Flood.
Well, I believe that when the fucking ice ages ended, the fucking sea levels rose.
No, I think that a comet hit planet Earth
and it brought some extra water.
No, it liquefied a glacier.
Nice.
Threw it into the air, and it
very likely
down on everyone else.
That's not unreasonable.
Yeah, it's very plausible.
But dropping an ocean over 40 days,
right?
Yeah, would have flattened the mountains.
40 days and 40 nights.
Well,
Ben.
what they're saying is that the explosion was so large, it basically created a nuclear winter that lasted hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's significant, and I think it's plausible that, like, first of all, not just the Christians, but a lot of other cultures, pre-Christian cultures, by the way, the Mesopotamians as well, talked about these great flood episodes.
Yeah.
And so I think it's so a lot of like early Enlightenment atheists would just dismiss these sort of things as like old stories, but we're now like beginning to see that like no, calamities actually happen, like super volcanoes.
Well, there's
meteors.
There's
like things happen.
A wide number of plausible and explanations for where the mythos of the Great Flood comes from. A lot of people think it was a regional flood. Because back then,
and it could have been.
Yeah, it very well could have been. Back then,
but it also could have been a global thing.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
Back then, nobody knew how large the Earth was.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like they thought that.
But not only
the
that,
entire world has been flooded.
Right.
But not only that, but like humans have only recorded history for about the past like 10,000 years. But we know through anthropological evidence that the human race has existed for like 300,000 years.
Right.
So what happened during that 290,000 years before we started actually writing shit down?
Maybe if a raging mob of religious zealots didn't set ablaze the Library of Alexandria,
we might know.
Now I'm sad. I am gonna go have that cry.
And how many times did that happen? That's
Numerous,
the thing.
Yeah.
Throughout 290,000 years, how many libraries of Alexandria were destroyed?
Right.
I mean, it's quite possible that it's like
books are for burning.
Like Planet of the Apes, and there was a civilization way, way more advanced than us before the destruction of it by, a nuclear winter, like you said, caused by an asteroid, comet,
and I'm not even willing to dismiss the idea that we may have had skyscrapers and fucking airplanes and stuff. I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah.
300,000 years.
Yeah.
And we've only had skyscrapers and airplanes during our age within the past
Actually, I think
100 years.
Actually, I think there's been new evidence that recently came out that suggests humans actually have been around for longer than that.
Like maybe even
like
400,
like 500,000 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many civilizations were built and buried during that time? It's crazy. It's like Final Fantasy. It's like the fucking video game. It's like how many ages.
We very well could have been a spacefaring culture.
Absolutely. And who would know?
Yeah.
None of us would know.
And maybe there was a portion of of human civilization, hundreds of thousands of years ago. They were like, man, you guys are fucking dumb. We're leaving.
Sucks. I want to go.
Yeah.
But this is not outside the realm of science. It is certainly science fiction.
Oh yeah.
But it's
or
not,
science fantasy. Like
it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Of course.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm into.
Good times.
What is possibility? Not just for like where we came from, but what is the fucking possibility of us in the future? Like can we fully have? Is there any point where we can actually become a post-scarcity society where we actually live in harmony with nature and we don't fight each other?
It would be nice to be a Type 1 civilization.
Yeah, that's what
cool.
Michio Kaku talks about, Type 1
I love that
civilization, right? So it's more about energy. It's more about like taking energy from the sun without fossil fuels. But that's awesome. But what happens if we actually do this? What happens if we actually become a Type 1 civilization within the next like 50 years, and then a super volcano wipes us out and we have to start all over again?
Neat.
Or some sort of astronomical.
It's all
calamity.
transient. It's all transient, and like the fights that we're fighting right now have probably been fought for thousands of years.
Just throwing
crazy.
rocks at each other. I love it.
Well, what the funniest thing about human existence is it seems like every time we make strides in breakthroughs and progress, the other end of it just pushes back even harder.
Reactionaries.
Yeah, and we get the more we progress, the further back we go. It seems like sometimes.
Remember the fucking
This is the dialectic.
the fucking all the crazies that came out because they cloned a sheep back in the what was that, like the late 90s maybe, early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 2000, yeah.
Yeah, and just motherfuckers were like,
Dolly.
they were like, that's it, we're done. Like,
And now China just like cloned a human.
sure.
They made a human that is resilient to HIV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think
you say cool, but everybody's freaking out about
Oh
it.
yeah. Well, everyone's stupid, but me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
It was just some young Chinese kid who was like, I can do this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a human fucking embryo.
Aren't they studying some sort of medical procedure, like for HIV that actually changes the genetic structure of like a living human to
Like through gene editing.
yeah.
Probably.
I think I heard something about that like on NPR or something like
Yeah.
last week.
I
Which
mean,
I thought
all,
was
all
pretty
the
cool.
antiviral medications that we have today, it's like really promising. And even Trump came out recently and was like, "We're gonna end HIV within the next so
Even
many
Trump.
years."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that you can preface a sentence with that now. You could be like, even Trump fucking. Hey,
Th-
man.
thanks.
but it's like the question is like, how? What the fuck are you talking about,
Yeah.
Trump? Are you gonna put AIDS patients in concentration camps?
Right.
God.
I wouldn't put
Or-
that past you.
Yeah. Well,
Fucking
it's like a few months ago he said that he was gonna
Captain Hamburgers over there.
yeah something about how he's gonna make end like homosexual persecution or like worldwide.
Yeah.
By killing all the
What
homosexuals.
did it say? He's
Yeah,
gonna-
if there's no gays. then
Something
you
about
can't-
how he wants to make homosexuality legal on the whole planet. It's like, yeah, how the fuck are you gonna do that, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Because he thinks he's,
That motherfucker.
King God or whatever. I mean,
God Emperor Trump.
yeah. I mean,
He comes out all gilded
and he
and
signs
orange.
Bibles and signs titties nowadays. too,
Golden
you know?
Emperor.
He's
Or
signing-
Orange Emperor.
He signed some titties.
Yeah.
Our
He signed some
fucking president signed titties.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I
he
saw
signs
it.
Bibles like he signs titties.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bible thing is just hilarious, but
Oh,
the
no.
whole fucking
The idea
signing
that he's
tits like
signing
it's
titties,
okay.
like he's a fucking rock star. This is a fucking Poison concert.
yeah, I know. That's exactly what I said. Like,
He
I
does
was
have
like,
a pretty rock
does he
star
think
signature.
he's in a fucking hair metal band? You know, I mean,
He's bringing back Warrant. Cherry Pie is going to be our national anthem from now.
Did you see that he called like the tech CEO of Apple Tim Apple?
Yeah.
Tim Cook.
Yeah.
He called
it's
his
his good
Mr.
friend,
Apple.
yeah,
Tim
my good friend Tim Apple. Which he did the same thing like a year ago with the CEO of the CEO of Lockheed Martin. He was like, look, Marilyn Lockheed.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm like tearing up, man. This is so bad.
It's like, let's get Joe Amazon in here.
Jeff
Jeff
Amazon.
Amazon.
Which a guy
Amazon. He's a good guy. I know him. He does good for all the people.
Tremendous things.
Tremendous free shipping for everyone.
which
It's a constitutional right, Bill.
which a guy that was in a band that my band toured with,
Holy.
oh no,
We had a
It's
we
okay.
had a bit of a that's
a
Disaster.
bit of a spill there.
Yeah.
A bad star.
No, but
fine. Well, see, it was because the turtle with the world on its back. We were talking shit, and I'm sorry.
yeah, but we were
Sorry, turtle.
like a guy that I toured with, like he was in another band that my band toured with. He actually was the one that shared that article that I saw. So he and I were just going back and forth, like just cracking each other up. It's like, and how dare Jeff CNN, spread these lies?
Jeff CNN. Yes. That's a yeah.
Joe Amazon, Doug McDonald's.
Oh, Doug McD. I love that guy. He makes the best chicken paste battered nuggets around. Oh man,
What a fucking idiot.
that fucking dinner. I'm sorry. Can we gloss over that really quickly? The fucking fast food White
Didn't
House
he do it
dinner.
again? He did it again.
He did it again.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Christ.
Because apparently the reason why he did that was because the government shut down, so they didn't have.
Oh
Yeah.
no, he
People-
didn't have millions of dollars
So he's-
himself. Where he
Well,
could,
I guess
he's
like
gonna
the
save us
entire
all.
like cooking staff in the White House
Yeah, wasn't there.
weren't there because they weren't getting paid.
yeah, and there's no other restaurants in DC.
Right.
So-
yeah. So McDonald's.
So Saint Trump is going to save us with baconators.
Yeah.
Cold baconators.
You know that shit was not.
And then you got
Those fries had to be so fucking soggy.
Well,
then you got his base being like, oh yeah, but the
well, then he
the
lied.
captain of the team was like, they really enjoyed it. It's like, and then
They're
then
like,
he,
no.
yeah, and then he posted, he's like, yeah, I didn't say that.
Yeah, they're not gonna say that. I mean, even they eat that. I mean, like, first of all, they're athletes, and yeah, they may eat that shit when they have to, but
Everybody eats that shit when they have
yeah,
to.
exactly. I mean, like, they got invited to the fucking White House. This is supposed to be like an honor, and then they were insulted with fucking fast food. I mean, it insulted me. I mean, and I don't even like Clemson.
Couldn't even spring for fucking. Come on, man. He just hit up Panera
Yeah,
or something. dude.
Boston Market, Jesus.
I don't even know. Just some from fucking bruschetta. Like, just some fucking hors d'oeuvres. Like,
Yeah.
He could have literally had cold cuts and fucking crackers and cheese.
Yeah.
or some fucking shrimp cocktail at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fucking throw a
Some
fucking
egg
vegetable
rolls and-
platter out there, man. You don't take
These
shit.
are the best egg rolls.
We're going to the China buffet.
Trump.
Everybody follow me.
Everyone knows that the
I would have been
best egg
stoked,
rolls-
honestly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We're going to Ryan's.
Hang on, let me take my uppers real quick.
This is the best place. They give you peanuts. You get to throw them on the floor.
You can just. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We're going to my
You're
all-time
with
favorite
me. You're with
Golden
me.
Corral.
No. No.
You're with me.
They-
Throw them on the floor.
The Golden Corral has a grill, and they will grill you up steaks.
You could stand there and watch them. You
Be
know
the most delicious steak you ever had.
you know they didn't tamper with your food because I mean it's already shitty, but you can watch it. You can watch them cook it right there, man. That's amazing.
Well,
and,
I mean-
and better yet, all the free refills of Diet Coke you can handle.
So much Diet Coke. You're just waterlogged with Diet Coke.
These guys used to buy Trump steaks, but that company went out of business. So now these are Argentinian primo Nazi steaks.
Everyone knows that Sizzler is the choice
Oh no.
of America.
Oh yeah, Bill hasn't
Can-
heard that.
Can I?
He'll have to hear it later.
Can I got this visual of Donald Trump at what was that place called where you could throw the peanuts on the floor? They just gave you a bucket.
Sagebrush.
Yeah, sagebrush.
Well, yeah, they.
There were a few of them.
Yeah,
though.
the one
We
in.
had one in town.
Well, there's the
Well, I
place
thi-
in Concord
I think
does it too.
Longhorn probably did, or
Yeah, no, not Longhorn.
Texas,
Um,
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse. I
whatever
think
the
they did
hell.
that. One of those.
First
other-
of all, the idea of them just being like, "Here's a bucket of peanuts,"
Oh.
is a little like
Logan's does that.
yeah,
Logan's.
Logan.
Logan's
that's
does
the
that.
one.
That's
Am
that's
I-
yeah.
Got a
Yeah,
story
like,
about
am I
that place? Don't eat there.
Am I
Mice.
a fucking horse? Oh,
Yeah, because of the fucking peanut shells and shit on the
Yeah.
floor. It's a fucking,
Whatever. I don't care about mice.
I feel like
Oh, you will if one runs across your table, man.
I don't care. I'll feed them.
I like just fucking
You're my familiar now.
Throw them on the
Pin 'em.
grill.
grab him by the tail, lay him on the.
Well
fucking-
done. Bring the ketchup.
Bring me the skewers.
I'm gonna squeeze his guts out through his anus, and then I'm gonna fill him with ketchup. First of all, the idea of just the bucket of peanuts on the table, like, hey, we got a party of 4. We're going to sit in the booth. Can you bring us all feed bags? Like, hang it on your head like you're a fucking horse? But then
I'm trying not to talk to these people. Bring me more peanuts.
I don't like to make eye contact with my family whenever I can avoid it. But
Can
yeah,
you
like,
believe that North Korea doesn't even have a McDonald's?
they don't even have McFeed bags.
They don't-
But no, I'm just picturing Donald Trump sitting in a booth at one of these steakhouses, just ripping through peanuts. And not only is he throwing the shells on the floor, he's like grinding them with this fucking shit, like, just smashing them into powder.
Which is what I do every time I go to.
Just oh god, I spiked a little bit there. Sorry. Oh god,
That's okay. Matt's been doing it all.
it's tremendous.
Yeah.
Oh Christ. That was fun. That was
Yeah, we can just go the rest of the podcast making fun of that fucking asshole.
fucking asshole. Well, I've got a couple.
Well, he doesn't believe in global warming. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
The global warming deniers. The general heading for tonight was just science deniers.
Yeah, well, global warming denial is like the king of all fucking
It's
science.
pretty fucking
denials.
bad, man. People are like, and I love like people that I know who are like, they'll just be like, nah, it's bullshit. Will be the same people like on Facebook and shit being like, what's up with the weather? Like, first of all, like weather and climate are two different things. But when you're wondering why it's snowing 3 months earlier than it normally would,
Or in
and
North
why-
Carolina, it's been nonstop rain.
Yes.
Since the
all
fall,
the rain,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
just all the rain.
Yeah. Normally we're in a drought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet.
Well, didn't the? Well, I mean,
Which
it's
I mean,
El
yeah, it's sweet
Nino
for us,
winter and
honestly. Like it's
Well,
not a
no,
bad
the
thing
polar
to have.
vortex. Had,
Although my house is riddled with
Yeah.
fucking mold.
Yeah, and I've had fucking problems here with it, and it's like people are like,
And
it
that's not
seems-
good for you.
Nah, you don't need that
Which
shit.
I saw a Doppler display of the polar vortex. And it looked like boobs.
yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
Sweet.
It's sweet,
I love
beautiful
boobs.
fucking tits.
Cold ass titties.
Can I,
mean-
sign them?
Did I sign that polar vortex?
It's just him writing on a computer monitor.
Just scribble.
There you go. Enjoy.
I like cold titties.
Well, half the fun's getting them warm.
Of
Yeah.
course.
We need a little friction here.
But yeah, I mean, so the planet's actually dying,
Cool.
and
Wait, no. Other
the
thing.
children know this, but the adults won't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a good thing the adults will be dead pretty soon, so maybe the children will be able
Well,
to.
probably
do
too late at that point, though.
Well, yeah. Time is short, and there are knuckleheads like the homeboy. The one time you were talking about Matt was talking about the band Tesseract, and I was like, Tesseract. That's like a word for hypercube, right? And he was like, yeah. And then we started
Yeah,
talking
four-dimensional
about,
cube.
yeah, like weird, physics shit. And there happened to be a guy that we both know. I don't like him. I know him it's just in passing that I know this guy. And he was like, four-dimensional cube. He was like, well, all you got to do is take a cube, and if you spin it, then you're looking at it in the fourth dimension. No, the fuck you are not.
Yeah. He's like, because we were talking about how it's impossible for us to perceive,
To look at a hypercube.
to look at a hypercube. Like, we have an idea of what it looks like, but we can't actually see it. And he's like, well, if you spin a cube around fast enough, you can see it. No.
You're first of all,
like it's going backwards if you spin it fast enough.
well, the fact, first of all, this guy thinks that if you have like a wood block that like your kid would push into a fucking hole on a little, the little like, round peg, square peg thing. He thinks that if you hold it between your like forefinger and thumb and spin it, that you're observing a hypercube. Fuck off. Second, you're observing like a symptom of time, an effect of time. You're not looking at time. You can see the effects of gravity. You can't look at gravity.
Right.
Fuck off. Like, these are the same. That guy's an adult, and he's got a good job, and he's gonna make so many babies.
Yeah, and he was
And I'm upset.
he was also a respected member of our community too, before he moved.
Cool, he's gone. So
I mean, he pops in every once in a while.
well,
He's not a
I don't
bad
like
dude.
that.
He's just,
he's dumb.
he's dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm dumb too. You
I
guys,
mean, we're
know-
all dumb in
You
our.
guys know more about physics than I do. I'm a biologist.
Well, I mean,
so.
yeah, but I mean, I'll be the first guy if you bring up anything that has to do with biology. I'll be the first guy to be like, he knows what he's talking about. I'll
Yeah,
shut the fuck
I don't.
up.
I don't know shit about the fourth dimension.
I mean, I don't know a lot, but
Yeah.
I enjoy reading about
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm no physicist, but
Yeah. I like.
But it's
especially
interesting,
Like,
yeah.
Quantum physics, theoretical physics. That's just interesting to me.
and the mind-boggling thing about physics and people that don't believe in it, the reason why they don't believe in it is because they think they know more than the actual physicists. It's like, no, the fuck you don't.
Yeah.
Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it isn't right.
Well, it doesn't mean that someone else
And you-
doesn't understand
right.
it.
Just because you can't
No,
comprehend
I'm pretty
something,
sure physicists don't understand physics.
well, I mean, they have a better understanding than
yeah,
Joe Schmo
The dude
that
that works
at
fucking
Applebee's.
Grease Monkey, yeah.
true.
Yeah. I trust scientists. That's why, like I said, when Bill starts talking about biology, I just go, okay. And I shut the fuck up and I try to learn. But there are other people who'd be like, no, there's no way. Like, oh, and this is something.
Oh yeah, by the way, last episode, I believe Chris was talking about vitamin B,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's why you evoked my name
Summoned Bill.
to be here. I don't know shit about vitamin B.
Doctor. Dr.
Well-
Bill doesn't know.
Well, I mean, it's
I mean, I know they're good.
B12.
I know vitamins are good
I think
for you.
B6 is one of those.
Necessary, in fact.
B6 is one of those vitamins that you take to enhance other
Enhance.
Dick. right?
vitamins
Enhance.
and drugs
yeah.
and whatever.
Enhance.
I think that's the name escapes me. I can't think of the name of it. But niacin. Is that B6?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, nice and yeah.
But B12. I mean, yeah. I was just talking about how it makes your piss glow. I mean,
for sure.
Turn the
it-
lights
it-
out.
No, I recently
Draw a
got
picture.
I recently got my genetics done, and it said that genetically I am less able to process some vitamin B.
yeah, and it's probably B12. I think that's-
Probably. So I should probably supplement with it, but
Mhm.
I just haven't looked into it like completely. So I should probably
Well,
do that.
yeah, Christina at one point thought she had a B12 deficiency, and they gave her shots.
I
And-
get a lot of meat though, so I feel like I get that.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You know, it's like I eat a lot of meat too, but I'm just like every time I dose heavy on the B12, which I mean it's water soluble, so you're not gonna overdose on B vitamins. You know, I feel better. I definitely get an energy jolt out of it.
Yeah.
You got shots, you said.
Yeah, I haven't taken her shots yet. I mean, like she has like a ton of them left over, and
Yeah,
she
let me
got
get-
like
let me get some.
all these different like, yeah. I mean, like,
All right.
and
Trying to get that. I'm on that B12.
yeah. See,
like,
I want to do that because the shot is like 300, either
shot,
3,000 milligrams or it's a shit ton of milligrams.
I'll try it.
I mean, and it's supposedly it's just like shooting up with straight caffeine or whatever. I mean,
Hell
but-
yeah.
we can get some writing done.
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to. I got to get back on that.
Yeah.
Good times.
D is the most important.
Yeah, I take the D.
So much D.
I take D. I take like I don't even know how much the pill is, like 500 micrograms.
Yeah, it's either yeah, it's probably micrograms.
It's internet. I think D is in international units, so it's like
Yeah.
a weird one. So it's but I take like 1 in the summer and like 2 in the winter.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, because you're not going to get you get D from the sun, and you're not as going to get as much sun in the wintertime. But
Yeah.
Getting the D.
I take a lot of L-lysine.
yeah,
There's a lot of benefits to that.
yeah, dude, we could go on the nootropic tip and all
We
that
should get-
if we want to start talking about all that.
We should
all
get
the
Chris
shit I take.
Raymer on the podcast if you want to talk about nootropics.
Well, next
Yeah,
time.
I definitely would like to do a nootropic episode because I can bring over the shit and have you guys.
But it's so complex.
I've
Like
got some Russian shit that it's illegal. It's not illegal in the United States yet, but it is. The Olympic Committee has made it illegal. They say it's a performance.
dude, you're holding
enhancing-
out on me.
Yeah, it's
What's up
they
with
say it's a
this?
PED, but
Wait, what is?
this stuff I have is called
Got PEDs, got fucking B12. Like, let's fucking party.
it's
now.
called it's called PEA, phenylethylamine.
Sounds dope.
Yeah, well, it's a crystal. I mean, it looks just like
Hell
crystal
yeah.
meth.
Crystal.
I mean,
How
But
do you
you
do
ta-
it?
you take-
parachute that shit.
well, you have to take a
Make a tinfoil
called
boat.
hordenine, which is bitter orange extract, whatever hordenine. So it's a powder. And you take this 30 minutes
You
before
rip it
you
up.
take the PEA. And what it does is
And you
it's
drink it with some raw water.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm not fucking with you with this shit, man. I mean, like, so it's an MAO inhibitor.
Oh.
The hordenine is. So it makes the PEA stronger whenever you take it 30 minutes later because you've inhibited the monoamine oxidase.
This is like DMT kind of.
Kinda. There is a definite fucking body high and feel to this shit, and it's so weird. It feels like you're rolling for like 10, 15 minutes.
Holy shit!
And I mean, it's
Nice.
strong as shit. And I've got
And it's
a
on-
shit ton at the house. I mean, if you guys want to do it,
yeah, yeah.
it's legal. I don't know if you can still buy it. I bought it off of Amazon.
Next podcast, man.
But yeah, so I mean, like you're only supposed to take like 500 to 600 milligrams of the PEA after you do the hordenine. But I went ahead and did the 1,200 milligrams that they say online if you want to get the ecstasy feel.
I'm gonna fucking party.
And I'm telling you, it fucking flattened me. I had to sit down and I was like, whoa. And like I was getting rushes and I'm like, my head was like just
throw down some
swelling.
wax and mess up the mix.
I was like, whoa, this is weird. And about after that initial rush goes away, you're fucking
feel good.
You feel great the rest of the day.
Hell yeah!
I mean, like you're just like fucking yes.
I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, you can't drink on the shit. You have
No.
to do it, but you could probably drink later.
Yeah.
Later in the day,
But not before.
No, I wouldn't do it while drinking. But yeah, I've got a fuck ton of it. I mean, and it's
Very interesting.
I'm okay.
I mean, I've got enough to last us all the rest of the year. So
we're gonna do a new segment. It's called "Doing Science."
yeah, look it up. It's phenylethylamine. PEA is what they call it on our nootropics.
Word.
Nice.
Good
Does
times.
it stimulate new brain cell growth?
Interessante.
I don't think it does.
I think
that
it's like the
I-
definition of nootropics, isn't
It's
it?
yeah. It's more like a modafinil. Like smart drugs.
What
sort
language
of.
is this?
Because you can, I mean, and there's ways to, modafinil is a drug that they give you for attention deficit disorder, but they won't give it to you before they've tried pretty much everything else. Modafinil is what pretty much everybody in Silicon Valley uses.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's the smart drug.
Got to write that code.
And there's a precursor to modafinil that you can still buy online for and not have to have a prescription, and supposedly your body converts it into modafinil.
Mm-hmm.
It's adrafinil is what it's called.
That's
But yeah,
that sounds sexy.
I haven't done that yet. I want to, because hell, I want to get a prescription of modafinil. That's the end game for me right there.
All right.
Just because that's what people swear by it. It's
Is that metformin?
no, metformin's a blood pressure medicine, isn't it?
It's a blood sugar medicine.
Yeah. That's right. No, no, it's speed, but not speed.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you the rush that like Adderall or Ritalin would. It just makes you fucking get shit done. It makes you feel like a human again.
Oh,
Like when
Nice.
you were like 12 years old and had no worry. Well, maybe you did at 12, but I don't.
yeah. I had a weird
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I mean, like
5-year-old Ben was already fucked up.
yeah, but yeah, look into modafinil. I mean,
Do you remember what it was like to smoke weed and like it
Trip?
just didn't matter?
Yeah. Okay.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
and then you became an adult and you started smoking weed and you were like, I have so much stuff to do.
Yeah. No, I definitely
I
remember.
can't do any of the things that I have to do anymore.
I definitely remember getting stoned and playing Phantasy Star Online and listening to the first Gorillaz album on shuffle and repeat.
and
just
being
being
this is it. This is all I have to do.
This is it for the rest of the day. Never mind all the homework I skipped to do that. But I wasn't sweating it. I knew I had a zero coming. I made my choices.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish I stopped enjoying weed whenever all the higher THC strains came out. I can't find one that has a good balance of CBD and THC that, you know, I get fucking paranoid like a motherfucker, dude.
Anxious.
Dude, yeah, that it just
It's like it's not even paranoid. It's like I can go out, but like I don't want to go out.
Yeah, well, it just makes my heart fucking beat so hard,
yes.
and like I'm like, no, I just don't want to do anything, and it's because the fucking THC is so high in it, dude. It's like
I get these. Well, like I remember, I definitely
maybe that's good, like first thing in the morning, but like not so much in the midday.
yeah, I mean it kind of makes you jittery. Yeah, so in the morning maybe it's I mean, you know, and there's the two strains, you know. But
Sativa,
still,
indica,
yeah, but still, I've tried both.
Which one's the
strains
downer and which one's the upper? Is it sativa that's the upper?
Into couch.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
Indica. Put you
Indo.
couch.
Well, see, like I have, you know, I haven't bought weed in like a year and a half probably, and I just don't consider myself a pothead or a stoner anymore. But
Yeah.
you like every once in a while at like the end of the night, like if someone's around who's like, hey, you want to take a pull?
well, yeah, I mean,
To go just like all I'm going to do within
But
the
by
next
that
hour is-
time, I'm drunk.
exactly.
go
That's
lay
what I was about to
down.
say. I've already had
Right.
if I've had a couple drinks or I'm drunk, I'm fine. I can smoke whatever because
No, I can't.
No,
No,
Bill
if
and
I-
I will
if
both
I-
go
Get the spins.
sideways.
If I'm drunk and I smoke weed,
Gotta lay down.
Yeah.
face fucking down.
Time to lay down.
It
Yeah,
really
this-
depends with me.
well, I mean, and it's you know it's
Sometimes I'm just like if I'm been drinking and I smoke, I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And then other times like, I gotta go home.
Yeah, I had one of those about a month ago, I think, where like somebody at the bar, we were like out having a smoke, and they just kind of like, you wanna hit the pin? And I was like, you know what, fuck it, and I went back inside.
I never trust the pen.
Yeah,
the,
that-
the pen, the offered pen. I never
Well,
trust that shit. I'm
well,
like,
I mean,
hell
this
no.
a trusted source and a trusted friend, and you know, I'm aware enough of myself most of the time when I'm drinking to be like, I only need to pull on this for like 0.5 seconds,
and you know that's
to
yeah.
get exactly
Yeah.
the right amount.
Well, see, that's the fucking thing with the pen is, you know, you hit it 2 or 3 times in a matter of like, you know, a minute or whatever.
You're fucked.
Yeah, and you're
fucked.
fucked.
I
I mean,
don't
it's
think
not
I've-
like passing around a blunt back in
I don't
2000.
think I've
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
hit a pen fully once
Yeah.
without going dick in the dirt.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess I'm
when-
just accustomed to it.
when
'cause
we were
it's-
hitting blunts and all that, or you know, I'm smoking joints and
Yeah, I
and
used to smoke the
fucking
bowl all the
hit
time.
in the bong and whatever. You knew exactly how much you were getting.
Yeah, and to be
Oh, yeah.
fair, blunts always did that to me too.
Yeah,
yeah,
blunts,
blunts
was,
are-
you
that's
know, all that
excessive.
nicotine with it too, and but
But no, I remember I hit that and I went back into the bar and I sat down and there was a dude there, cool guy, decent dude, but I just like he was like talking my ear off and it was just I was tired and you know I just wanted to have like a beer and a shot and I started to order a whiskey and he was like, oh, what are you drinking? And I was like, dumpster whiskey, like fucking rainwater that collects in a bad place. And he was like, nah, and he got me a glass of Woodford and I was like. About halfway through the glass, I was like, I'm going to finish this glass, but I got trapped in my own head. That's why I stopped smoking, because I get stuck in my own head, and I'm sitting there, and I'm, like, working through this glass of whiskey, and enjoying it, but as I'm, like, looking around the bar, you know, I was like, I don't like, there's, like, one person here whose company I enjoy, and I'm kind of getting stoned, and after this whiskey, I'm going to be done anyway. If I stay here, I'm going to be fucked. So I just got up. I'm pretty sure I walked out on my tab. Like the next time I came in, I was like, do I owe you money? Because I feel like I just was like, fuck y'all, and just stood up and left.
yeah,
Louis C.K. had a really good bit on that. Talking about like smoking after he did a gig, like with like 20-year-olds in the parking lot.
Yeah, I
And it
remember
was
this,
and it wasn't like, you know, the shit that he grew up on. It
Yeah,
was the,
fucking
the,
dirt
the
weed.
new stuff. And like he said, like he the guy told him, was like, hey man, like don't hit it too, and he just went and he's like, that's too much weed. It's too much, man. And then he said like he was just standing in the circle, like just kind of like trying to like appear normal.
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
a human.
And he's just like he said he would slowly like pan over to one person, then the next, and then he would try to randomize it.
Yeah.
And then like he's like then he realized he needed to go.
When you're so high that you're worried the people you're getting high with know you're high.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was just like he couldn't figure out the proper way to leave. It's like, do
Well-
I say something? Do I just? Then he's just like, I'm leaving. It's like,
What's up, Chris?
I mean, and that right there is paranoia and anxiety in a nutshell. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
Of-
supposed to be
of
friends
what it-
with these people.
yeah, I mean, like, I can be right here with you guys, and if I got stoned right now, I would be like fucking still paranoid.
That's why I think
and
weed
just
is-
like fucking.
That's why I think
It's
weed is for
uncomfortable.
kids.
Yeah.
It's for kids.
I guess so. I guess when you get to
Yeah.
a certain age, you just can't. I
Well,
don't know if your body can
Well, I guess
handle
our
it. or
guy,
if it's
our
just-
guy Blue gave me an edible the other day, and he was like, "Don't." He was like, "Cut it in a quarter, like
Yeah.
take a
Yeah, don't eat
quarter
the
of
entire
it.
gummy.
Don't eat the whole gummy." And I was like, "Okay, you're right." And so I was hanging out with the
And that was like, fuck you, and just
no, I was hanging out with my little boy the other day, and I was like, I'm gonna eat some of that fucking gummy. So I ate it, and like I just played with my son
Yeah.
for
I'm
hours.
sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, and you know,
and I didn't hate it at all,
yeah.
which is
it
crazy.
wasn't trying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
microdosing mushrooms would do the same.
exactly.
Good times.
And we just danced in the living room
Yay.
and played, and it was
So
great.
made you
That's
a better
why-
parent.
Yeah, I think weed is for kids or for people who are trying to be kids in the moment.
yeah.
Like if you have to work the next day, I just don't think.
Yeah,
it's for you.
if something's bothering you, like I think that was when I discovered I was like the last time I got stoned by myself and was like, I'm gonna get stoned and play video games because that's what I've been doing since I was 14. The last time I did that, I just had like if you've got stuff on your mind that
Yeah.
kind of worries you, you're not gonna have a nice time.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I was dating a really nice girl. We were really enjoying each other, and I'm trying to get stoned, and I'm firing up the new video game, and I'm sitting there, and I'm playing the game, and in my head, I just remember being like, man, I really like her. This is a lot of fun. It's gonna be really sad when one of us leaves the other way.
And then you went down into
Yeah.
a spiral.
And
Yeah.
then I was like, inside of like 15 minutes, I was like, I think I'm gonna stop smoking pot. I think it's run its course with me. Because I'm the type of person who outwardly, like, I force myself to be happy, but internally, I'm definitely always worried about something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been fighting my urge to smoke over the past, because I'm 20 days sober right now. So I've been fucking fighting the urge to smoke weed because I'm like, I need to have some vice, but
Yeah, like a couple months ago, I took about a month break from smoking, and I missed it. Like I wanted to do it, but
yeah, I mean, it's not
I don't know,
anything.
man.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not saying, oh God, I want to smoke weed. I just want to not drink.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, just make sex your vice.
Yeah,
There you go.
Well, you got to have someone who's gonna fuck you all the time. Not that my wife doesn't. It's just
Baby, I'm frustrated
and Yeah.
anxious. I'm going to fuck the brakes off.
I mean, yeah.
yeah. I just we all need a release. You
Oh,
know?
yeah. How long have we been going for?
Probably well-
59 minutes and 15 seconds.
Oh,
Oh,
shit!
nice.
We're right at our hour.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
we should
We got to wait for our host to get back from
Yeah.
the
the pisser.
latrine.
Yeah.
So I've been dreading this conversation this entire time. Anti-vaxxers.
Oh God.
I'm about to blow your minds on this shit.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Here we go. So, they're not as wrong as they think they are.
Mm.
There goes Chris making.
Okay,
Look, all
go
right.
ahead.
I am fully vaccinated. My son is fully vaccinated. However, assume that we know everything about the immune system. And the companies that make these vaccines are problematic.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but
Yeah.
but
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 there's
vaccinating
a lot of buts here.
vaccinating your kids is important.
Oh yeah, I would never, ever.
so you're saying just don't trust these companies that make these vaccines, and I absolutely don't trust them.
Yeah.
But
You're better off.
at this point in the
Science.
Yeah.
in science and the proof that we have that they have almost they've eradicated quite a few of these diseases that are
Well,
coming back
yeah.
now.
But to say
Yeah.
they were
That
eradicated.
shows
That's a
right there.
problem.
That actually just lends more proof that they were.
Yeah.
Does it not? I mean, like,
no,
or did these diseases did the CDC just go somewhere and fucking spread these diseases
Just-
out
Oh
somewhere?
no.
Crossed
Again,
up the
I mean, which I wouldn't put it past our government
I would.
doing,
But well, they've done that.
yeah, with
They've done
HIV.
that. And with syphilis, with the
Yeah.
black communities.
Right, and with fucking smallpox back in the day, but now it wasn't the CDC, but that was our
Yeah,
government.
well, yeah,
CDC, for sure. But we can't presume to know the total cost benefit analysis of vaccinating. I would recommend to everyone out there to be vaccinated, to vaccinate your kids. You should. You,
It's
ha-
so
you
vaccinated.
have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, it's irresponsible if you don't.
Yeah, we can't.
But
You're right.
do you understand that the people who are afraid of it, they're afraid of it for a reason, and we can't dismiss the reasons they're afraid.
Yeah, but most of their reasons are based and they're illogical. I mean, like they say, like with
they're
vaccines have mercury in them, and
Which they don't anymore.
Yeah, and the aluminum, or I believe aluminum. Is that one of the arguments? I mean, like you get more,
mercury
you
and
get more
They're
aluminum.
they're called adjuvants. So
Yeah,
these,
you
these
get-
are things that they put in the vaccines.
Baking soda has more aluminum in it.
Fish,
Neat.
fish have aluminum.
Oh
I don't,
God,
I don't
yeah,
know.
and fish
Well,
have
yeah,
mercury.
Yeah, they have
yeah,
mercury,
for
but
sure.
Fish are delicious, though.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I intentionally don't eat a lot of tuna because of that. I mean,
I bought tuna today.
yeah, I mean, I love tuna. Don't get me wrong, but like if I'm eating sushi, it's mostly salmon. But
Word. Oh, yeah, no, I eat tuna because I can't afford salmon.
But let's cut to the chase. What
Yeah.
people are mostly afraid of with vaccines is autism.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's a scary thing for white middle class mothers to think that their child might not love them or whatever the hell they think that autism does.
Like what it is, yeah.
Or what it is. But on the one hand, I would say
You
that
can't be so worried about how your kid feels when you're at yoga class, okay? Like it's time
Right.
to focus and center yourself, okay?
Exactly. You're spending your entire adult life trying to be non-emotional,
Yeah.
and then you're sad that your kid's not so emotional.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So-
correct me if I'm wrong. Like, but
He was born
if you
callous.
if you have autism, you've always had it. It's not something that just randomly develops out of nowhere, right?
Well, there is a developmental aspect to it.
Right. But I mean, it's
you're born with it.
It's also a spectrum.
True,
So
yeah.
it's not a black and white. You have it,
Absolutely,
you don't.
absolutely.
It's a spectrum. First of all, I would suggest that human beings being born with less emotions might be a good idea
I'm cool with that.
for the future of
Yeah.
the human species.
we should
maybe-
become Vulcans.
Maybe they're more logical than some of the more apish people
Uh-huh.
that
Yeah.
we live with.
Yeah, there is some and Matt called me Evil Spock. As Evil Spock, I'm just going to go ahead and say, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, it makes you think about, because, so many of these people are like, well, why is there so much more, so many more people are diagnosed as being autistic now, it's not that it hasn't always been this way. It's just that now we're more aware of it.
Right.
Mhm.
How many fucking insane, like, just giants of the mind and like, how many people who've done incredible things throughout history were probably fucking autistic?
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's the same way with genders.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's always been
We're just-
multiple genders, not just two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
And-
don't understand that sex and gender
Yeah.
are two completely different things.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
And that emotionality is a spectrum.
Yes.
And so what we're really calling autistic people is we're calling them emotionally devoid people or whatever, but it's a spectrum.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And there are people who are too emotional, and there are people who, for whatever reason, aren't emotional enough.
Right,
for
raising
their-
my hand right
for
now.
their moms to be able.
No, I love my mom. I just hate everyone else.
What I mean is that like some kids are being born and they won't look their mom in the eye.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so the mom is like, "Oh my God, what's wrong? He's diseased. It's because I vaccinated him."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking batshit.
Well, and I can't remember the name of whatever doctor that said that initially came up with that study.
Yeah, the
like
one
what
study
2000,
that-
2009, 2010, whatever, saying that vaccines can cause autism in your kids. Later came out and was like, nope, I was wrong.
Yes.
And then, but the people that heard that still refused to
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
his
yeah.
recant.
He wasn't
and,
going to yeah.
and just ran with it.
Yeah, I did, and it's so much fun for me because I did a quick Google. I
Not
didn't
his or
even-
her recant. I can't remember.
I don't even think I actually clicked on any pages or read any articles. You know how like if you Google something, sometimes it'll give you like a snippet of an article, like, "Hey, this is
Yeah.
probably what you're looking for." Yeah, like,
Usually a Wikipedia.
well,
thing
this
or whatever.
was like one was like a snippet from the CDC being like, "No, that study that started a lot of this," and I quote, "critically flawed," is what it said on their website. Critically flawed, not just they critically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
crucially.
Well, there's another dimension to this whole topic. And it's not just whether or not your child is like really emotional and is laughing when you look it in the eye, or where you call its name and it just never looks at you and it always
Yeah.
looks off into space. That's one aspect of this whole topic. The other aspect is that a lot of what are called autistic children have severe behavioral characteristics. They will climb up walls. They will bang their heads against
Lash out.
things.
Yeah.
They will lash out. They will do, but these things are not necessarily connected.
Yeah,
So if you can imagine someone on the non-autistic side who has severe mental inability to control themselves,
like impulses.
There are behavioral issues.
behavioral issues, and you can imagine someone on the autistic side who has behavioral impulses. These things, it's a very intersectional thing, and so a lot of research is going into these, especially these autistic children who beat their heads against walls.
Ooh.
They're changing their diet and they're like decreasing their behavioral.
Yeah, you and I have talked about this
impulses.
before.
It's like there's a really astounding study that was done where they took what was considered an autistic child who would do that. He would, like, every time they would go into public, he would just scream. And they actually infected him with gut worms.
Yeah, because I believe you said the reason why he was going through that was because he has like a hyperactive immune system.
Yeah, his immune system is actually attacking his own body,
Oh God.
Namely his brain.
his brain,
Oh.
namely. And so he's like, well, he's also autistic, so he can't express.
Yeah, he can't.
He can't be like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
So he's just like
physically.
He's just like screaming and knocking his head against walls. So what they did was they infected his guts with worms, and so his immune system
When an
focused
attack
Had
back.
something
on
to
the
fight.
worms. And so then he was like, oh, and he became lucid, and he was like,
Oh wow.
he was like, I don't know why I was acting that way. The only reason I can think of why I was acting that way is because I was hurting and I didn't know how to
I didn't know what to
it.
do about it. Yeah.
Right. So it's so complex. The biology of human behavior is so complex. We couldn't possibly be able to understand it at this point. Not at this point in science.
Yeah.
So I get the frustration of white middle class women who are like, I don't want my baby to bang his head against the wall, so I'm not going to get a vaccine.
Yeah.
They're just wrong. they're just wrong. But
They had to blame it on something.
they had to blame it on something because they
Yeah.
They just
couldn't-
don't know.
They couldn't possibly understand the complexity. So they had to blame it on something. So Jenny McCarthy,
Yeah.
I love you, and
I like I love your tits.
you're wrong, but I love you anyway. And
It's
so
2019. It's okay to
we're
mess up.
gonna figure it out, baby. We're gonna figure it out.
It's okay. Just calm down.
Wasn't there
Just calm down.
I can't remember, it was a Netflix
You probably just need to bust one.
it was a Netflix thing about the keto diet, and there was a little girl on there who was
The Magic Pill.
yeah, and
It's a good
the
movie.
little girl that was on there, she was she autistic? I think she was autistic.
I mean, they diagnosed her autistic, but what does that mean?
I don't know.
Well,
It
I
doesn't
think about
mean anything.
But they changed her, they put her on a keto diet, and her behavior just fucking
turned
just-
around.
yeah, it did. I mean, like,
She had a diet of goldfish.
yeah,
Yeah, that's not.
that's essentially my daughter's diet. I mean,
Yeah, but I've met your daughter and she seems fine. For the most part. Well, yeah, I don't have to be there with
no,
her.
she's not autistic. She's just a
Yeah.
little.
She's a little shit,
Yeah,
like
she's
most
a little
children.
shit.
Was my kid's diet normally consists of mac and cheese.
No,
Yeah,
that's the
it's-
thing
it's-
is
yeah,
that
it's all sugar.
all of our kids' diets consist of
Carbs.
nothing but carbs.
Yep.
Like my kid doesn't want anything but like when he says he wants fruit, I'm like, okay, good, but it's just carbs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
He
It's
wants
just-
nothing but mac and cheese and carbs and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches
Yep.
and
Chicken nuggets.
Even the fucking protein bars that I try and buy to get him some protein,
Yeah, yeah.
like they have like a ton of carbs. Like there's no
We're not even-
veggies, there's no meat in there.
I did see him the other day. His aunt brought him into the restaurant. Apparently, he just wanted to see everyone in town and where they worked and stuff. So he came into the restaurant, and I threw some dough in the air to impress him. And he had some pasta, but I noticed when he sat down at the table, because she was like, "Can we eat this in here because it's not from here?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck anyone who says that my great nephew can't have his fucking food." You know, like,
Yeah,
Yes.
he's got some spaghetti. It's still sitting in the fridge.
Well, see, he sat down and started. The first thing he grabbed out of the box was broccoli,
Yeah,
and
he
I
likes
was like,
broccoli.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, good on
Oh.
him.
Yeah, Stella loves broccoli. I
Oh,
mean, like, I could just feed
I
her,
love
but there's
broccoli.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's literally, I mean, like, the calories are like, she needs calories.
Yeah,
you know?
and
I mean,
broccoli is
she can
just
eat a
not-
whole pack of broccoli, and she's only going to get about 150 calories
yeah.
out of it.
There's
it's
no
gotta,
energy
it's
in
gotta
it.
have.
It's all
fucking-
fiber.
It's gotta
and-
have butter on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
well,
Butter it up.
She gets enough protein because she drinks, whole fat milk.
Yeah.
And
The babies love milk.
yeah, I mean, and she'll drink that all day long. She'll drink.
Uncle Ben loves milk.
The doctors told me she doesn't
Make it
need
weird
whole
and
fat
creepy.
milk anymore. You can put her on skim, and I'm like, okay.
Why?
I was like, no, I know. I was
Yeah.
like, no. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's-
I'm absolutely not doing that. I drink whole fat
Yeah,
all the way up until probably 10 years old.
Skim milk is water
My
pretending
parents
to be
made
milk.
me
Yeah,
drink it.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
It's all the water and all the protein
Yeah,
and
but-
none of the fat.
yeah,
Yeah.
none of the fat. well, they told the doctor said she doesn't need all that cholesterol, and I'm like,
What the fuck?
yeah, I know, I
What the
know.
fuck? Well, put her on a statin, you asshole.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
love-
seriously. I was like, seriously.
I'm so glad
It's
we
not
got
like
Bill
she's
over
sitting
here.
down and eating a fucking steak every night, and she's not. She's active. She runs around. Her fucking heart is gonna be fine.
Christ.
Yeah, I know. Good thing that she sees many doctors. I mean, it's a typical fucking pediatrician's office. But I was like, that doctor. I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? I was like, obviously she hates the keto diet. I absolutely hates it because she told me to feed her. Yeah, just feed her apples all day long and all this shit. And I'm like,
Just
she
get her
needs-
hyped up on sugar all day
exactly.
long.
I give this kid
Just
a
all
fucking
day.
apple. She's fucking bouncing off the walls just from an apple. It's like, no. So
Oh.
she drinks a lot of milk. That's where she gets her protein and her fat.
Can I bring
mean,
up?
that's-
I wasn't going to, but now I kind of want to. Also, Bill, your wife just texted me and said, "Is Bill all right?" I said, "Yeah, we're having a lot of fun." But
Oh, she's sweet.
I said something about pasta, and I wanted to bring up the pasta
Oh,
with no
God.
meat.
Oh God.
Oh,
The
So
pasta
I've been.
without
I
meat.
was.
I
So I
remember
was.
this
So I was
story.
trying to get my kid off the high carb diet, and his father just was like, what are you feeding him? He was like grilling me. I was like, well, I'm like, I give him protein bars,
Mhm.
and like I want his muscles to grow, and whatever. And he was like, that's not a meal. That's not a meal. So anyway, he would send him back to the house with packed lunches because he thought we weren't feeding the boy.
Yeah.
So these packed lunches, they would just be like straight carbohydrates.
Mhm.
It would be like oatmeal and a banana. And the next day it was like spaghetti, and when I with garlic bread, and when I opened it up, I was like, there's no fucking meat in this. What the hell? There's like it's just nothing.
It's just
sauce.
It's
It
noodles.
was like the
noodles and
most
tomato sauce.
It was
Runny
the
sauce.
weakest sauce I've ever seen in my life.
noodles and just tomato paste
Tomato.
and a piece of garlic.
It was
bread.
like he took tomato juice.
yeah, and let it
He didn't
left it
properly
out.
strain his pasta.
Like
It
if you
was
leave
the
like
worst.
a bowl of tomato soup out and it gets that skin,
And so
so you just skimmed that
so
off.
Desmond
and
was like, I want my lunch. And I was like, oh, your dad sent you some lunch. You want some of this? Yeah. And I heated it up. He took 2 bites and he was like, I don't want that. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, let's eat some
let's
real
eat
shit.
real food,
And then
not carbs and
then
acid.
I told Ben about it. And so Ben posted on Facebook. He was like, motherfuckers out here making spaghetti with no meat sauce? What the fuck? And like the boy's dad commented, yeah, that's me, with an emoji,
a flexed arm
flexed
emoji.
arm emoji. And we were just like dying laughing.
He was like, "What are you gonna do about
what
it?"
are you going to do about it?
And I said, "Enjoy pasta with meat in the sauce." And our buddy Chelsea flew off the handle, wrote like
Oh,
a
yeah, that's right.
3-paragraph dissertation on why
why white people's version of pasta sauce
is garbage.
It's garbage. And she's from Jersey and I'm from New York, but she was like, you gotta cook the gravy for fucking 4 days before you put it on the pasta. What the fuck
You
is
gotta-
this shit?
You got to use a razor blade to cut the garlic.
Yeah,
So it just
yeah,
melts
exactly.
in the
That was in there
sauce.
too, I think. She was like, you gotta cook the gravy for at least 48 hours.
Someone watch Goodfellas.
It's gotta have fucking fat in it, first of
Yes.
all.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
meatless.
It's not
Well,
gravy
doesn't-
if it doesn't
I think-
have fat in
I think
it.
Mike Polino said one time that pasta sauce shouldn't have gravy, or it shouldn't have meat in it.
Fuck you.
I was like, "What, Polino?" I was like, "You're Italian. What are you talking about?"
I love Mike.
I was
but
like,
that's
yeah,
wrong.
I
That's
was like,
just
what?
wrong.
Where are you gonna get the fat?
I mean, like,
It's not gravy if there's no fat in it.
You're literally talking.
maybe Polino, if you listen, please come back and say that you did say that. I thought I was saw
Could be
you
wrong.
stated that, but I was like, what?
Could be wrong.
That
It's a
doesn't make much sense
stew.
at all.
It's a stew.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gotta have.
Let that
it's
shit-
gotta have fucking.
Yeah.
Maybe I took it out of context. I don't know, but I was shocked. I was like, whoa.
Maybe he
he's
was
Italian,
maybe he was
man.
just terrorizing someone. I don't know Mike to be
I
a
don't know.
malicious
Yeah.
to be a malicious person, but
No.
yeah, maybe he's like, yeah, don't put meat in your sauce because you want him to die or something.
Ah, he's a liberal.
All right. Well,
Boys.
Yeah, it's getting late.
yeah, we should probably wrap it up
Oh,
soon.
Well, this was fun, fellas.
It was a lot of
no,
fun,
I
yeah.
really appreciate you having
This
me.
is our smartest episode yet.
Yeah, we
Word.
actually talked about something that's meaningful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We made fun of the president for a while.
Yeah, that was
It good,
awesome.
yeah.
Oh no, that's a good bit. Yeah, next time I'm just gonna drone on and on about my new favorite video game. And,
Oh, yeah.
Matt will complain about a YouTuber who shit on his friend.
You need to watch the new
Oh,
season of True Detective so we can talk about that.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
I do,
I've
I
been
do.
watching that as well.
It's fucking amazing.
Well, now that I
Well,
have the interwebs, I can steal that at any
We'll
time.
talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Bill, it's been great having you, man. I'm glad you had fun. We'll have to have you back sometime.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you for having me.
I-
You can find me on Facebook, William Wormser, and I'm also gonna try and do a podcast here soon with our buddy Maiko. It's tentatively called Utopiana. It's all about utopianism and leftist politics, and I'm also trying to get a YouTube channel together called Against the Grain.
Nice.
Nice.
But
And
yeah,
We'll definitely plug you in future episodes. I
Word.
mean, if you're not here for future episodes.
word. I'd love to come back though.
Oh yeah, we'd love to have you back. All right, boys. Yeah, fucking hey, that was a good one. We had substance this time.
Oh, yeah.
We had some. We
Don't
put s-
lose this one, Chris.
No, I'm right here
We-
making sure that this thing doesn't fucking delete.
This is
we
Ellen
put,
Ripley.
we put some meat in the sauce tonight. Thank you, Bill, for being the meat in our sauce.
Thank you.
This is-
Well done, meat.
This is Ellen Ripley signing off.
Oh, fuck you. Now I'm sad. But yeah, microwave this podcast. Until next time, I've been Ben.
Chris.
Matt.
I'm Bill.
Fuck off.